Picture this. A farmer. No crown, no army, no money. Just one man standing against the most powerful country in the world. They said he would fail. They said he would run. They said America would never be free. But he did not run. He did not quit. He did not give up. This is the story of George Washington, the man who could have been a king, but chose to be a servant of his people. Stay with me. This story will change how you see struggle, how you see failure, how you see yourself. Chapter 1. The Boy Who Lost His Father Too Soon. Imagine this. A young boy stands alone in a big field. The sun is warm on his face. The wind moves through the tall grass. He is only 11 years old, but in his heart he feels much older. This boy is George Washington. Picture this moment. It is the year 1743. George lives in Virginia, America. His family has a farm. It is a good life. But today, everything changes. His father is sick, very sick. George watches from the doorway. He sees his mother cry. He hears the doctor speak in a low voice. That night, his father dies. Think about this. An 11-year-old boy. No father, no guidance, just a mother, 5 siblings, and a large farm to manage. George's heart feels heavy. But he does not cry in front of others. He learns to be strong. He learns to be quiet. He learns to carry weight on his young shoulders. As you listen, notice the new words. Guidance means someone showing you the right path. Shoulders here means responsibility, not just body parts. This story helps you improve your listening skills. George's mother, Mary, is a strong woman, but she is also sad. She loses her husband. Now she must raise 6 children alone. George is the oldest son. People expect him to help. People expect him to lead. The farm is called Ferry Farm. It sits near the Rappahannock River. The land is beautiful. Green fields, clear water, tall trees. But farming is hard work. George wakes up before the sun. He feeds the animals. He checks the crops. He learns to count money. He learns to talk to workers. He learns to make decisions. One day, George finds an old book. It is about rules for behavior. The book has 110 rules. Things like speak slowly, look people in the eye, do not laugh too loud. George copies every rule by hand. He writes them in his own notebook. He practices every day. Why does he do this? Because George wants to be better. He wants to be respected. He knows he cannot change the past. His father is gone. But he can change himself. He can become someone people trust. George grows tall, very tall, over 6 feet. In those days, this is unusual. Most men are shorter. George has strong hands from farm work. He has a calm face. He does not show anger easily. People notice him. They see something special. But George has a dream. He does not want to be a farmer forever. He wants more. He wants adventure. He wants to see the world beyond his small farm. When George is 16, he gets a chance. A neighbor needs help. The neighbor owns a large piece of land. He wants someone to measure it, to draw maps. This work is called surveying. Surveying is dangerous. George must walk through forests. He must cross rivers. He must sleep outside. Wild animals are everywhere. Native American tribes also live in these lands. Some welcome traders. Others protect their territory. George accepts the job. He leaves his mother. He leaves his siblings. He rides his horse into the unknown. For 3 years, George worked as a surveyor. He measures land. He draws maps. He earns money. More importantly, he learns about the American wilderness. He learns to read the stars. He learns to find direction. He learns to survive. Every night, George writes in his diary. He writes about trees, the rivers, the animals, the people he meets. His handwriting is careful. His words are clear. He is learning to observe. He is learning to remember. Think about this. A young man, alone in the forest. No comfort, no safety. Just him and nature. This experience changes George. It makes him tougher. It makes him braver. It prepares him for something bigger, something he cannot imagine yet. By age 19, George is a skilled surveyor. People respect him. He has money in his pocket. He has confidence in his heart. But still, he feels something is missing. He wants to serve. He wants to protect himself. He wants to do something important for his country. Little does George know his country will need him soon. Very soon. A storm is coming. Not a storm of rain, but a storm of war. And George Washington will stand in the center of it all. Chapter 2. The Soldier Who Learned from Defeat. Picture this. The year is 1753. George is 21 years old. He lives in Virginia. But trouble is growing in America. Two powerful countries want the same land, France and Britain. Both claim the Ohio Valley. This land is rich. It has rivers, it has forests, it has opportunity. Both countries want to control it. The British governor of Virginia needs someone brave, someone who can ride through dangerous territory, someone who can deliver a message to the French. He chooses George Washington. Imagine this journey. Winter is coming. The weather is cold. Snow covers the ground. George must ride over 200 miles. He travels through forests. He crosses icy rivers. He meets Native American tribes. Some help him. Some watch him carefully. George reaches the French fort. He delivers the message. The French say no. They will not leave the land. War is coming. George returns home. He writes a report about his journey. The report becomes famous. People read it. They see George's courage. They see his skill. His name spreads across Virginia. Now the governor gives George a bigger job. He makes George a leader of soldiers. George is only 22. He has never led men in battle, but the governor trusts him. George gathers a small group of soldiers. They march toward the French. The journey is hard. The men are tired. The supplies are low. But George keeps them moving. Then something happens. A small fight. George's men attack a French group in a place later called Jumonville Glen. Some French soldiers die. This is the first battle, but it is not the last. The French are angry. They send more soldiers. They build a fort. They prepare for war. George and his men build their own fort. They call it Fort Necessity. Think about this moment. George is in a small fort. Rain falls heavily. The ground turns to mud. His men are wet. They are hungry. They are tired. The French surround them. There are many more French soldiers. George has a choice. Fight and possibly die, or surrender and live. George chooses to surrender. It is the only smart decision. He signs a paper. He agrees to leave. He and his men walk away. They are alive, but they have lost. This is George's first real defeat. He feels shame. He feels failure. He questions himself. Did he make the right choice? Could he have done better? Many people would give up after this. Many people would hide. But not George. He learns from this loss. He studies his mistakes. He understands what went wrong. He promises to be better. As you listen, notice how failure is part of every success story. This is important vocabulary. Defeat means losing a battle. Surrender means giving up to avoid more harm. These words will help your English. After the surrender, George returns home. Some people criticize him. They say he was too young. They say he made mistakes. George listens. He does not argue. He knows they are partly right. But George does not leave military life. He continues to serve. He works as an aide to a British general. An aide is a helper. George learns from this general. He watches how the British Army works. He sees their strengths. He sees their weaknesses. George learns something important. The British Army is powerful, but they do not understand American land. They fight in straight lines. They wear bright red coats. They move slowly. In the American forests, this does not work well. George also learns about leadership. He sees good leaders. He sees bad leaders. He makes notes in his mind. He decides what kind of leader he wants to be. During this time, George meets someone special. Her name is Martha Custis. She is a widow. She has 2 children. She is kind. She is smart. She is from a wealthy family. George falls in love with Martha. They marry in 1759. This changes George's life. Now he has a home. Now he has a family. Martha brings stability to his life. She supports him. She believes in him. George leaves the military for a while. He returns to farming. He manages Martha's land. He becomes a successful plantation owner. He grows tobacco. He raises horses. He makes money. But George cannot forget the military. He cannot forget the unfinished business with France and Britain. He watches the news. He reads the papers. He sees tension growing. The British government starts taxing the American colonies. They want money. The Americans say no. They say, no taxation without representation. This means Americans want a voice in government. They do not want to pay taxes without having a say. Tension grows. Anger grows. People talk about freedom. People talk about independence. People talk about war. George watches all of this. He thinks carefully. He is not a man of many words. But when he speaks, people listen. His reputation is growing. People remember his courage. They remember his honesty. They remember his strength. George does not seek fame, but fame finds him. People start to see him as a leader. They start to believe he can guide them through difficult times. Little does George know, the biggest challenge of his life is coming. A new war is rising. Not between France and Britain, but between America and Britain. And George Washington will be asked to lead an army against the most powerful nation in the world. Chapter 3. The General Who Never Gave Up. Imagine this scene. It is June 1775. George is 43 years old. He sits in a room in Philadelphia. Men from 13 colonies are gathered. They are arguing. They are debating. They are afraid. Britain is the strongest country in the world. It has a huge army. It has a powerful navy. It has unlimited money. America has none of these things. America has farmers. America has shopkeepers. America has ordinary people. How can America win? The men in the room need a leader. They need someone to command the Continental Army. This is the American military force. It is small. It is untrained. It is poorly equipped. Someone speaks George's name. The room becomes quiet. Everyone knows George. They know his reputation. They know his character. They know he is honest. They know he is brave. They know he puts country before self. George stands up. He does not give a long speech. He says he will serve. He says he does not want payment. He will lead for free. This surprises everyone. In those days, leaders expected to be paid well. George refuses. He wants to serve his country, not enrich himself. Think about this. A man giving up money for principle. This shows his character. This earns him respect. This makes people trust him. George leaves Philadelphia. He rides to Boston. The British Army is there. American soldiers surround the city. They are waiting for orders. They are waiting for leadership. When George arrives, he sees the truth. The American army is not ready. The soldiers wear different clothes. They have different weapons. They have little training. They have low morale. George does not panic. He does not complain. He starts to work. He organizes the soldiers. He creates rules. He demands discipline. He trains them every day. This is not easy. Many soldiers want to go home. They miss their families. They miss their farms. They do not understand why they must stay. George talks to them. He explains the cause. He reminds them of what they are fighting for. Freedom. Independence. A new nation. Winter is coming. It is cold, very cold. The soldiers have no warm clothes. They have little food. They have no shoes. Some wrap their feet in rags. Blood stains the snow as they march. George walks among his men. He does not stay in a warm tent. He shares their suffering. He eats what they eat. He sleeps where they sleep. The soldiers see this. They respect him more. One night, George makes a bold decision. The British are in Boston. They control the harbour. George needs to force them out. He gets cannons from far away. In the middle of the night, he moves these cannons to a hill overlooking the city. The British wake up. They see the cannons. They realize they are in danger. They cannot stay. They leave Boston. This is a victory for America. It is small, but it is important. It shows America can fight. It shows America can win. As you listen, notice the word morale. It means the confidence and enthusiasm of a group. When morale is high, people feel strong. When morale is low, people feel weak. This is useful vocabulary for your English. But victory does not come easily. The war continues for years. George faces many defeats. His army loses battles. His soldiers die. His supplies run low. Congress does not send enough money. People at home start to doubt. Some generals criticize George. Some politicians question him. Some soldiers desert. They leave the army. They go home. The situation looks hopeless. Think about this moment. George sits in his tent. It is late at night. A candle burns low. He reads letters from home. His farm needs attention. His family misses him. His country is falling apart. He could quit. No one would blame him. But George does not quit. He writes letters to Congress. He asks for help. He begs for supplies. He pleads for support. He does not give up. One winter is especially hard. In the winter of 1777 to 1778, the army camps at Valley Forge. The cold is brutal. Soldiers sleep on frozen ground. They eat bread made from corn and water. Many get sick. Many die. George stays with his men. He walks through the camp every day. He speaks to soldiers. He encourages them. He prays with them. He shares their pain. A man from Europe arrives. His name is Baron von Steuben. He is a Prussian officer. He offers to train the American soldiers. George accepts. Von Steuben teaches the soldiers how to march, how to fight, how to work together. Slowly, the army improves. They become stronger. They become more disciplined. They become a real fighting force. George learns to be patient. He learns to wait for the right moment. He does not attack unless he has an advantage. He understands that time is on his side. Britain is far from home. America is fighting on its own land. In 1781, the moment arrives. George sees an opportunity. The British General Cornwallis is in Yorktown, Virginia. He is trapped. George moves his army south. He works with French allies. The French Navy blocks the harbour. The American army surrounds the land. Cornwallis is trapped. He cannot escape. He cannot get supplies. He cannot get reinforcements. After weeks of fighting, Cornwallis surrenders. This is the turning point. The war is not over yet, but everyone knows America will win. The British cannot continue. They have lost too many men. They have spent too much money. The people in Britain want peace. Think about this. 6 years of war, countless battles, thousands of deaths, and finally, victory. George Washington led an impossible army to defeat the world's strongest power. How did he do it? He did not give up. He stayed with his soldiers. He believed in the cause. He put his country first. He endured suffering. He learned from defeats. He waited for the right moment. These qualities made George Washington a great leader. Not his military genius, not his battlefield tactics, but his character, his persistence, his courage. The war ends in 1783. George resigns his commission. He returns home. He wants to be a farmer again. He wants to rest. He wants to be with Martha. He has served his country. Now he wants peace. But America is not done with George Washington. The country he helped create needs him again. The young nation is weak. The government is failing. The states are arguing. People are losing faith. America needs a leader, and everyone knows who that leader must be. Chapter 4. The President Who Refused to be a King. Picture this. The year is 1789. George is 57 years old. He sits on a farm in Virginia. He is happy. He is farming. He is with Martha. He is enjoying peace after years of war. Then, letters arrive. Important letters. The American government has created a new constitution. This is the set of rules for the country. Now, they need a president. The first president of the United States. Everyone wants George Washington. The votes are counted. George wins every single vote. This has never happened before. It will never happen again. George does not want this job. He is tired. He is older now. He knows the job will be hard. He knows people will criticize him. He knows he will be away from Martha. But his country calls, and George cannot say no. He leaves his farm. He rides to New York City. This was the capital at that time. Thousands of people line the streets. They cheer. They wave. They cry. They see George as a hero, as a savior, as the father of their nation. George arrives at the building where he will be sworn in. He stands on a balcony. People gather below. He places his hand on a Bible. He takes the oath of office. He promises to serve the country faithfully. Think about this moment. A farmer becomes president. A soldier becomes a leader of a nation. This is extraordinary. In Europe, kings inherit power. In America, the people choose their leader. This is new. This is revolutionary. As you listen, notice the word constitution. It means the fundamental laws of a country. It defines how government works. It protects citizens' rights. This is important vocabulary for understanding American history. George faces enormous challenges. The country has no money. It has debts from the war. It has no strong government. The states do not work together well. Foreign countries do not respect America. George must build a government from nothing. He must make decisions with no examples. He must set precedents. A precedent is something done for the first time that others will follow. George chooses advisors carefully. He picks the best people he can find. Alexander Hamilton becomes his advisor on money. Thomas Jefferson becomes his advisor on foreign affairs. These men are smart, but they disagree often. George listens to both sides. He does not take sides quickly. He thinks carefully. He makes decisions based on what is best for the country, not what is popular. One big question arises. How long should a president serve? Some people want George to be president for life. They want him to be like a king. They trust him completely. George says no. He believes in limited power. He believes leaders should not hold power forever. He sets a precedent. After serving 2 terms, George decides he will not run again. He sets a powerful example for future presidents. This is revolutionary. In the world at that time, leaders hold power until they die. Kings do not give up their thrones. But George Washington does something different. He shows that power belongs to the people, not to one person. Think about this. A man with all the power, all the respect, all the support, and he chooses to give it up. This shows true character. This shows true leadership. During his presidency, George faces many difficulties. The country almost breaks apart. Hamilton and Jefferson fight constantly. They have different visions for America. Hamilton wants a strong central government. Jefferson wants power with the states. George tries to keep peace. He listens to both men. He makes compromises. He keeps the country together. This is not easy. Many times, George feels frustrated. Many times, he wants to quit. But he stays. He serves. He endures. Foreign policy is another challenge. Britain and France are at war again. America is weak. America cannot afford to fight. Some Americans want to help France. They remember France helped America during the Revolution. George makes a difficult decision. America will stay neutral. America will not take sides. This angers many people. They call George a coward. They say he is betraying France. But George knows the truth. America is not ready for war. America needs time to grow. America needs peace to build strength. His decision is unpopular, but it is right. Think about this. A leader makes an unpopular decision because it is right, not because it will make people happy. This is true leadership. This is putting country before popularity. George's second term is harder than the first. More criticism, more attacks. Newspapers write terrible things about him. They call him names. They question his motives. They say he wants to be a king. George reads these articles. They hurt him. He is a proud man. He served his country for decades. He risked his life. He gave up his comfort. And now people attack him. But George does not respond angrily. He does not fight back. He continues to do his job. He continues to serve. He continues to put country first. In 1796, George makes an announcement. He will not run for a third term. He will retire. He will go home. Some people beg him to stay. They say the country needs him. They say no one else can do the job. George listens. But he has made his decision. He writes a farewell address. This is a letter to the American people. In it, he gives advice. He warns against political parties. He warns against foreign entanglements. He tells Americans to stay united. He tells them to value their Constitution. This farewell address becomes famous. It is read for generations. It is studied by leaders. It contains wisdom that lasts for centuries. Think about this. A leader leaving power voluntarily, giving advice to his country, then going home to live as a private citizen. This has rarely happened in human history. In 1797, George leaves office. He rides back to his farm. He is 65 years old. He is tired, but he is happy. He is home. He is with Martha. He can finally rest. But George's story is not over yet. One more challenge awaits him. One more test of his character. Chapter 5. The Legacy That Never Dies. Imagine this. The year is 1799. George is on his farm, Mount Vernon. He is 67 years old. He has been retired for 2 years. He is enjoying simple life. He walks the fields. He checks the crops. He spends time with Martha. Winter is coming. It is cold. George rides around his farm. He checks on his workers. The weather is bad. Snow and rain mix together. George gets wet. He gets cold. That night, George feels sick. His throat hurts. He has trouble breathing. The doctors are coming. They try to help him. They use medical knowledge of that time, but it is not enough. George knows he is dying. He is not afraid. He has lived a full life. He has served his country. He has done his duty. He is ready. Martha sits by his side. She holds his hand. They have been together for 40 years. They shared joy. They have shared pain. They have shared history. His reported last words were simple. It is well. On December 14th, 1799, George Washington dies. News spreads quickly. People cry. People mourn. America has lost its father. The world has lost a great leader. Think about this moment. A nation grieving. A person losing their hero. But also, people realizing what George gave them. Freedom. Independence. A government of the people. As you listen, notice the word legacy. It means what someone leaves behind after they die. George Washington's legacy helped shape American democracy. His legacy is the idea that ordinary people can govern themselves. After George dies, many things happen. His name becomes legendary. Towns are named after him. States are named after him. Schools are named after him. His face is on money. His statue stands in the Capitol. But George's real legacy is not statues or names. His real legacy is the example he set. He showed that leaders can serve without seeking power. He showed that victory comes from persistence. He showed that character matters more than talent. Think about George's life. He lost his father young. He faced defeat in battle. He led an impossible army. He became president of a new nation. He gave up power voluntarily. He died as a private citizen. Every part of his life teaches something. Loss teaches strength. Defeat teaches humility. Victory teaches responsibility. Power teaches restraint. Death teaches legacy. What can we learn from George Washington today? First, never give up. George faced many failures. He lost battles. He faced criticism. He endured suffering. But he never quit. When life is hard, remember George in that cold tent at Valley Forge. He stayed. He endured. He won. Second, put others before yourself. He could have used his power to become even richer. He could have been a king. He could have held power forever. But he chose to serve. He chose to sacrifice. He chose to put country first. What are you willing to sacrifice for something bigger than yourself? Third, character matters. He was not known as the most brilliant thinker of his time. He was not the best speaker. He was not the most talented general. But he had integrity. He was honest. He was reliable. People trusted him. In a world of flashy people, be like George. Be solid. Be trustworthy. Be someone people can depend on. Fourth, know when to stop. George could have stayed president forever. People wanted him to. But he knew when to leave. He understood that fresh leadership is healthy. He understood that power should not belong to one person forever. Know when to rest. Know when to let others lead. Know when your work is done. Fifth, leave something behind. George did not live for himself. He lived for future generations. He built something that would last. What are you building? What will you leave behind? Think about your legacy. Think about what people will say about you when you are gone. Think about this question. George Washington changed the world. He was one person, but his actions affected millions. What can one person do today? You. Yes, you. What can you do to make the world better? You do not need to be president. You do not need to lead an army. You do not need to be famous. You just need to be honest. You need to be persistent. You need to care about something bigger than yourself. Every day you make choices. Small choices. To be kind or unkind. To work hard or be lazy. To tell the truth or lie. To help others or ignore them. These small choices add up. They make you who you are. They create your legacy. George Washington was not perfect. He made mistakes. He owned slaves, which was wrong. He had temper. He had doubts. But he tried to be better. He learned from his errors. He grew as a person. You can do the same. You are not perfect. You make mistakes. But you can learn. You can grow. You can become better tomorrow than you are today. This story helps you improve your listening skills. As you listen, Notice how past tense verbs describe complete actions: lived, served, died. These are important for telling stories in English. Now the story ends, but your story continues. You are writing it every day, every choice, every action, every word. You are creating your legacy right now. George Washington's life teaches us that ordinary people can do extraordinary things. He was a farmer, he was a surveyor, he was a soldier, he was a president, but mostly he was a man of character. You can be that too. You can be a person of character. You can be someone people trust. You can be someone who makes a difference. The world needs people like George Washington. People who serve, people who persist, people who put others first, people who build something lasting. Be that person. Start today. Start now. Start with small choices. Be honest. Be kind. Be persistent. Be brave. Your legacy is waiting to be written. A question for you. Now I want to ask you something. Think about this question carefully. What is one thing you will not give up on, even when it becomes difficult? Write your answer in the comments below. Share your dreams. Share your struggle. Share your promise to yourself. Many people will watch this video. Few will take action. Be one of the few. Your words matter. Your story matters. Your commitment matters. If you enjoyed this story, like, share, and subscribe. More stories are coming. More lessons are waiting. More inspiration is on the way. Thank you for listening. Thank you for learning. Thank you for being part of this community. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, keep believing in yourself. George Washington believed in a nation that did not yet exist. Believe in the future version of yourself.